We want freedom. We want power to determine the destiny of our American community. We believe that American patriots will not be free until we are liberated from the radical leftist ideologies, scare tactics, and violence.
Against the stream, it don't matter what race or creed or color. Love this land and you're my brother. That anyways, you know I'm gonna stand. If you say you can't breathe, I'll show you we can. Ain't never gonna stop believing. We were born for freedom. We were born for freedom.
Back down. We will not cower in fear. We're not going to hide any longer. Our president will be reelected. Our police will be backed. And our sanity will be restored. Power to the Patriots!
Power to the Patriots! Trying to watch AMAs, but Cardi B is host, and when I see this, had to turn you on. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, go watch the AMAs, and you can watch this tomorrow. If I don't get a copyright strike, which I don't know that I will, but I don't think so. What's up, Patriots? I just got off work, but it was easy as fuck. There was nobody there. It was dead. So I went home early. And, not feeling like going to bed yet. But the other night, I watched an amazing live stream by McGlover. She knocks it out of the park pretty much every time. She's so good. She's so good. So this one's about 40 minutes long, and I ain't doing shit. So, oh my God. Oh shit! Here, we're gonna have to take it back. We're gonna have to take it back. The right stuff. Damn. I think that was the first boy band that I loved, you know, and I've been watching them since they actually came out, like, 1989, 1990-ish. I was little, but I remember them. I remember that song. I had a crush on, which one did I have a crush on? The ugly one is Danny. He's Greek. There's one that came out as gay. It's probably Danny. Who did I like in that band? Jordan. Yes, Jordan was my crush. You were a Donnie girl. Okay. If I had to choose between Donnie and Marky Mark, of course it would be Marky Mark. He's way more handsome, but they kind of look alike. They just have a different shaped head. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can DVR it and come back, or you can watch this one tomorrow. So it is your choice, but thank you for being here tonight. I love Cardi B. And I know she got roasted by Candace Owens. I know. I saw it. It was brutal. It was factual. But I still love my Cardi. Ew. All right, so let's get into it. So McGlover is talking about just, and this is what's so crazy about technology. I actually have the Citizen app on my phone, which is this one, and I love it. I love it because you hear about stuff on this app before you'll ever hear about it on the news, and likely most of it you're not going to hear on the news anyway. So this app is awesome. I hope everything that's on it is accurate, but I'm pretty sure that it is. A lot of times there's photos to go along with it. So she's looking at one of her apps. Um, I'm not sure if it's a Citizen app or another one. She says it's like a Ring app. So I don't know if like Ring has like a neighborhood watch type of thing going on. I'm not sure. Um, but the stuff that she's about to um, expose that's just happening in her neighborhood in Chicago is pretty intense. And it's all niggas doing it. You know it's niggas doing it, you know. But this is a trip. So just watch this video. She's going to talk about T.I. and Tiny in the beginning of the video, which is really funny. And you know, I used to love T.I. and the Family Hustle. Like that was one of my favorite shows because I love the way that T.I. would like raise his kids. I always thought he was really I always, you know, he just really seemed like the model, like urban former hustler dad, you know, and it just seemed like he was really trying to instill some good values in his kid. Now, Tiny, on the other hand, I've never liked, and I remember when Escape like first came on the scene. They're like fucking two hit wonders in the early '90s. I never really understood what he saw in her, but that's his baby mama. He got like 8 kids by her, 7 or 8 kids by her. Those are the ones we know about, you know, plus however many didn't get aborted. Um, I don't really like her, but I like the show as a whole. And then just to see like how outspoken T.I. got about everything and how he's just basically become another race hustler. And I hate that about him. So I definitely stopped watching the show. But it was such a trip to me that this whole scandal came out. I don't know if it was earlier this year. I think it was like maybe in April. The whole scandal about them like drugging women and forcing women to have sex and like doing some weird threesome orgy type shit. So it's just kind of funny, you know. Some people really think they can take the moral high ground, but like most lefties, like most Democrats, he is a full of shit. B has no morality, has done nothing but perpetuate bad stereotypes. Unless you watch that show, which he, you know, is kind of a positive role model, but I just think it's funny, you know, the people who are doing the most behind closed doors are the ones who want to be so high and mighty about everything else. So let's go ahead and hear Megan's take on that, and then she's going to go into what's going on in her neighborhood.
Oh, somebody lost their dog. Okay, we back. Are we back? Can y'all see me now? Anyways, like I was saying, T.I. and Tiny and them, uh, uh, what's going on, Niecy? T.I. and Tiny and them, you know, they was having weird sex with people. And so now the Los Angeles Police Department is talking to them. They got to investigate them and all this other kind of shit. You know, listen, you know, whatever kind of sex you want to have between you and your husband, you and your wife, you and your whatever, by all means, I think you should be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. But when you start bringing in a bunch of these weird ass drugs, y'all putting cocaine around your anuses and all that kind of old shit, and doing ecstasy and putting weird stuff underneath your tongue and all this other kind of old stuff, you really need to get a signed document and maybe even a videotape of people agreeing that they will be involved in that kind of activity, because people will say, oh yeah, you know, yeah, let's do it, and then they change their mind later on, and now you have a big ass problem. You got a big ass problem. So you can't just be doing all this weird funny business. You know what I'm saying? And think that you're gonna be able to get away with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging. I won't be able to do it because I don't do drugs. I'm not gonna be able to do it. But somebody said with the notary, that is correct. You better get that shit you should have, listen, when you live that kind of lifestyle like that, you ought to have a notary republic that lives at your house. I'm dead ass serious. You need to have somebody that lives on the premises. You know, they have a maid quarters. You need to have a notary quarters in your house. Notarize, stamp these hoes, get a copy of the identification, and do a video permission. That you know, that you are aware that we do funny shit over here. We're going to be sticking things in different places and all this other kind of stuff. And we're going to be, you know, so that then when the people try to change their mind later on, when life gets a little rough for them, then you have all your proof. See what I'm saying? You got to know what you're working with. Didn't y'all learn from Michael Jackson? Y'all didn't learn from Michael Jackson, huh? Michael Jackson was the biggest entertainer of all times. But he thought that he could just have children coming in the house and living in Never Land and all that kind of old funny shit, and that nothing was going to happen to him. And then them people said, nah, I think we need a little more money. Or a little bit more whatever. Okay? So, you know, all of you people that think that you have a lot of money, you think you're untouchable, no, you're not untouchable. So get you a lawyer, a notary, get you some people that live on the grounds, on your premises. Okay? Portia, you know, I don't watch reality. Oh, that's what I was talking about before they cut me off. Reality TV is not real. You know that, don't you? Somebody said who I was talking about. I was talking about T.I. and Tiny. Reality TV is not real. You know that it's scripted, right? So after you run the same story over and over and over and over again, you eventually have to come up with something new, right? So that people will continue to watch your show. So now Portia, I don't even watch this shit. I just know it because I see it online. Portia then got with one of her friends' ex-husbands or something. But see, this is what happens when you start going down the rabbit hole.
Okay, just a little FYI, she's talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, so she's talking about that Portia. If you know, you know.
When you start going down the rabbit hole, they will force you into doing, whatever needs to be done, so that they can keep the show going. So now she done had to go and have sex with her homegirl's ex-husband, which we all know is off code. You know you're not supposed to be having sex with your homegirl's ex-husband. Everybody knows that. This is not even, you don't even, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to know that 1 and 1 is 2 to know that you don't have sex with your homegirl. You don't marry your homegirl's ex-husband. So, so you should know that this is all a trick. If this has all been plotted and scripted and it's all weird. Okay, so don't get too upset about that. Anyways, I'm on here. Oh, look, 222. Oh, it just went away. I'm on here because I want to give you just a little bit. I want to give you just a little bit of an update because, I'm coming in here probably going to be a little petty today. I haven't done my hair yet, so this can be Petty Tuesday because I haven't done my hair, so I don't give a shit. Colin Kaepernick. Let's see. I hope Auntie talks about Colin Kaepernick nonsense and how Black women have responded checking his ass. What did he do? Oh, shit. Let's see what this dumbass. Oh. No, I wasn't going to talk about that. Let me see what he did. What did he do now? I mean, we're not surprised, are we? Sure, Colin Kaepernick could divide team. Colin Kaepernick. What did he do? Somebody tell me what he did. Oh, the cover of his book. He got a book. Colin Kaepernick wrote a book. Oh, nigga, you gotta be kidding me. What? Colin Kaepernick publishing book arguing to abolish the police. Publishing a book calling to about this. Oh my God. He wrote a book.
Let me show you the cover real quick. 1 second. Let me show you what she's talking about. Okay, so I think it's this one. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty low budget. That's pretty low budget. Pretty low budget. But then again, he's only worth 20 million unless he's hiding that 300 million from Nike, unless he's hiding that in an offshore bank account that we don't know about, which I'm sure he is. Yeah, that looks pretty low budget, and it's already insulting. But okay, back to Megan, and back to you.
Book entitled "Abolish the Police." Oh no! You got to be kidding me! She said, "Go to his Instagram." Oh no! Oh, these people are nuts. That's not what I came on here for. As you can see, I'm usually prepared.
Queen Mata.
Oh no! Oh no! And he got a black lady on here with afro. Oh, Collie, who's told you to do that? No, baby. No. Wait a minute. He got a black lady with a, it looked like, abolish the police, close the prisons. Over 30 voices for the people. Abolish for the people. The movement for a future without policing and prisons. Oh, no. Wow. These people have lost their minds. So you want the people? Let me get off his page. I don't even want that people to know I was on there. Anyways, that's a good segue. I'm so grateful. I was actually getting ready to talk about that. It's so interesting how the Lord works everything out. Okay.
I love how she talks.
I can't even stop laughing. This shit is so crazy. Okay, so I'm telling you, that is such a beautiful segue. Thank you so much for mentioning that to me just real quickly, Nisi, because I'm going to go into my little Petty Tuesday. I was going to give you a little bit of a report of what has been going on. So it's so interesting that happened. Okay, so you guys ready?
Mm-hmm. Are you ready? Everyone ready?
Petty, but I'm going to go ahead and use it anyway. All right. This is my Ring app, and we're going to go over the last 48 hours within a 2.5 mile.
Yeah, that's what she was talking about.
What has been going on. Are you ready? Do y'all have your
welcome?
Y'all have your tea and your
welcome to anyone who is new to the channel. Thank you for coming by. Nunya, thank you very much for coming by, sweetheart. Endless Echo, I've not seen you on here before. If you're new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. Thank you very much for being here. We're just having fun tonight. Well, it's not fun hearing about how bad violence is in Chicago, but we're just, Megan makes us laugh.
Your snack. Some people might be at lunch right now. This is going to be very interesting. 1 hour ago, shooting reported on East 80th Street and South Woodlawn. One person reported dead. Somebody lost their dog. 3 hours ago, shooting on 59th and State. There's a car up on the curb. 12 hours ago, shooting, about 9 to 10 gunshots heard. 16 hours ago, gunshots and helicopters at 77th and Lafayette. 22 hours ago, shooting reported on East 61st Street and King. 1 day ago, my neighbor's daughter was followed from the Green Line and sexually assaulted as she walked home from work. This happened at about 11:47 p.m. last night, and the police have not yet shown up. Hours have passed. She said hours been passed, but I'm trying to help her. Hours have passed, and not one officer came to help this young lady. Ladies, please be aware of your surroundings. This young lady works at the airport. And then there's, comments and everything like that. I just want to read to you very briefly. The police are not showing up. It's fucked up. This is what the comments are saying. Because somebody down here said so many comments. Somebody said it happened to them too just the other day. Here it is right here. This same thing just happened in the alley on 61st. Okay, so that was one day ago. Let me go back. Okay, you ready? Are you following? Fantastic. One day ago, I just heard 15 plus shots near 91st and Jeffrey at 3 a.m. One day ago, shootings reported near South Cottage Grove and 79th Street. 20 shots heard on 92nd and Jeffrey. Listen, this is just the Ring app. This is just the Ring app. Okay, wait a minute. This is just within a 2.5 mile radius. Okay, this is not the whole.
Dude, ever since I moved to Austin, when I was in Columbus, this citizen thing would go off a couple times a day. Ever since I moved to Austin, shooting, robbery, shooting, robbery. I mean, if you really want to know what's going on in your town, get the Citizen app or get whatever apps you got. You know what I should do? I should actually record everything, or I should do the same thing. We'll do Austin. I mean, this is how much shit is just going on right now. Okay. We'll do Austin for sure. And we'll go through it. We'll do 48 hours. We'll backtrack and I'll read out every single report that's being made. It's crazy.
See, just somebody caught somebody stealing a package. Okay. Another lost dog. Somebody sitting on the porch. Somebody sitting on somebody else's porch. Be careful. Just heard 6 shots. Just heard 25 shots on 81st and Cole. Gunfire, 15 shots fired between 15 shots fired northbound on Stony Island. Gunshots on 76 and Phillips. Now I want you guys to understand that this is civilians reporting this. This is not like a cop scanner or anything like that, right? This is just a regular Ring app. You know, everybody has a ring on their door, their phone, whatever. And it's just a regular Ring app. Okay, so this is not like a police scanner. This is just people. Okay, we're going to keep going. We are staying within a 48 hours.
And keep in mind, when she mentions that this is not a police scanner, that doesn't matter, because I don't know if dispatch is, I don't even know if dispatch is like reporting this shit. They're like, okay, no one's dead, just shooting, just a rape, just a sexual assault. No one's dead. Okay, we probably don't need to send anybody. Because if we do send somebody, all hell's going to break loose anyway. Hey, Native Nana, what's up? We got Nevadans in the house. What's up, Nevadans? I love Reno. I like Reno better than Vegas. Well, look who's here. Everyone's here. Hi, Risen. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Just having a little watch party with Megan McGlover.
Okay. Okay. Gunshots, 76 and Phillips. Shots, heard a round of gunshots. That was near, they said location, exact location, not found. Okay. Then some roaming neighbors in people's backyards. Okay. We're still within 48 hours. Somebody said white supremacists are very busy, aren't they? Shooting reported, I told you it was going to be Petty Tuesday. Shooting reported on South King Drive and 63rd Street. That was confirmed by the boss. Shooting reported on South Calumet and 59th. Somebody else lost the dog. Shooting reported on East Marquette and Kimbark. Shooting reported on South Coles and 82nd Street. Multiple gunshots heard on 82nd and Coles. I am within 48 hours within a 2.5-mile radius. Are you listening? Okay.
You heard that.
Shooting
2.5 miles.
93rd and Jeffrey. Another shooting. Heard 8 gunshots. Gunshots on 93rd and Jeffrey. Gunshots on 89th and Cottage. Gunshots on 79th and Luella. Gunshots on 83rd and South Shore. And you're going to write a book entitled Abolish the Police. There's not even enough police to handle. That was within 48 hours. That was in 48 hours. And you mean to tell me that your resolve, oh, and by the way, this is another reason why I wanted to be petty. You know, a lot of the activists, these Black, African-American, whatever you want to call them, activists are going at it. They're now arguing with each other. Nobody's arguing with me because I told you where I stand a long time ago and I ain't changing my shit.
Hey.
Okay? Nobody's arguing with me. And I'm very grateful because I don't feel like it. Okay? I really don't. But a lot of these activists are arguing with each other because the people that was capping for your lovely blues, for the Blue Party, have now had to put themselves in a place where they're having to defend what they voted for, right? They're having to defend it because now you don't see any evidence. So supposedly, the Biden administration has put aside $5 billion, B as in boy, has put aside $5 billion to fight crime. But to my understanding, this has not yet been approved. And there is no clear direction. There is no clear direction on how this $5 billion is going to be used to, it's not to fight crime, it's to fight violence. So this is what I want you guys to understand when you come over here and listen to Auntie. I really want you to understand words, because fighting violence and fighting crime can easily be two different things. You can say that, well, I want to use the money to fight violence. Well, that could be domestic violence. And of course, we're not saying we don't want you to fight domestic violence. Of course, you want to fight domestic violence. But it can be domestic violence. It can be violence against a certain group of people. It can be violence against a certain race of people. It can be different types of violence, so forth and so on. So you have to be careful when you start saying words like, oh, well, we've set aside, or we're going to try to allocate a certain amount of money for violence. I just read to you, did anybody count how many those, what was it? It was over 20, right? It was over 20 something accounts of shootings that I told you about, right? Okay. Within 48 hours. If you keep saying over and over and over again that you want to defund the only solace that you have, that's going to be a problem. You're going to have a big problem if you don't, I mean, it's already bad enough that when you call the police, they're not able to come because they have so many different things going on. That's already bad enough. So now you want to say, on top of taking away their money, I guess you want them to work for free, but on top of taking away their money, everything that they do, every little thing that they do, you are threatening their jobs, their pension, their retirement, their livelihood, their everything. But you're not in any way doing something. You're not in any way doing something that directly affects the crime and criminals in the society, community, and city. Where are, I just read to you over 20 something incidents of shootings within a 2.5 mile radius. Not one of those were cops involved. Not one. Not one. So I would like for you to help me make that make sense. You're going to put $5 billion to do what? What are you going to do with it, President? What are you going to do with that money? Because
it's just another Democratic money grab. And it's going to go to administrators and researchers and psychologists and specialists and urban development planning. I mean, we don't even know what is, like she said, what kind of violence is it for? Domestic violence, child abuse, elder violence? We don't know what it's for, but let's just say that it's for urban violence. Okay. What are we going to do? We're going to have more community centers that are trashed, that do nothing for anyone, that aren't even safe to be around. Okay, that aren't teaching kids any real life skills, where they're going to go in there and just fucking do arts and crafts. And then by the time they're 13 or 14, they're already initiated into gangs, and they could care less about the community center that they used to go to. What are you going to do? You're going to use it to pay it's to pay off his donors, and no one will see anything. There you go. It's a money laundering thing, as always. Yeah, see, the problem with violence is that it's so and I hate this word because all the lefties use it, but it is very intersectional. Like, my child didn't grow up in a violent environment, but her mental health made her violent. Is Joe Biden going to give me a check? Can I get a victim's assistance check, please? Let's see. When there's violence in the home, there's going to be violence in the schools. When there's violence in the schools, there's going to be violence in the streets. So it's like, I just want to know, like, where are we stopping it? Just pick a specific area, pick a certain target, and go for that. But the problem is that it's never going to resolve it all the way. And really, if you want to reduce violence, we need to find ways that men and women can stay together. And we got to find ways for men and women who would otherwise be subjected to the influences of these kinds of environments, just to get the hell out. Like, let the fucking junkies and crackheads and prostitutes just have a fucking neighborhood, and just get everybody out who doesn't want to be there. I don't know. Anyhow, salute. Thank you. It's very telling how, when the masses are dumbed down and believe the mockingbird media narratives, no one is able to think for themselves and see things as they are, solve problems. When we wake up, we are powerful. 100% Queen Mata. No, unless you claim you're an elite. Yeah, you get a slay for that. Good one. We do appreciate creative sarcasm. We do appreciate good comedy here at the Rage Party, the Red Pill Rage Party. That's how we roll. Laura, Oregon passed a law that the children don't even need to prove they can read or write upon graduation. I have been screaming, remove your children from public schools due to this indoctrination. 100%. And it's happening in Northern California as well. Thank you, Gavin Newsom, you piece of shit. All
right. In a minute, we're not going to need any of your money. We're not going to need it because they're just gonna kill each other. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe that's what they want. You got a black mayor. Not only is she black, it's a she. Well, at least until she changes her mind. But it's a she. I told you it's Petty Tuesday. I really don't care today. It's a she. She's black. And she's a lesbian. You can't get no more. What else can you? That's as liberal as you can get. You can't get no more liberal than that. How much more liberal? The mayor of this city is a black female lesbian who is married to a white lady. You cannot get any more liberal than that. That's the most you can't get, honey. The only thing that you can get on top of that is if one of them is transgender. And if you have not seen a picture, let me pull it up. Petty Tuesday, I don't give a shit. I'm finna pull a picture up because I don't give a damn. Okay. I'm finna pull it. I'm finna pull up a picture, huh? Okay, I gotta get a good one. Wait a minute now. I'm gonna pull up a picture. I'm gonna pull up a picture so that you people know what's really going on. Okay, because I don't think a lot of you. I don't think a lot of you even know. This is there's light. This is the mayor and her wife. Can you see that? Can you guys see that? Let me find another picture. Because I don't want y'all to think I'm lying. This is the mayor and the mayor's wife. Yeah, it's fuzzy. You can't see it real good. Damn. Anyways, so I would not be surprised if one of them is transgender. I ain't gonna say which one. I'm just gonna say I would not be surprised if one of them is transgender. Do you see that? That woman is about 6'2". And could very easily have come into the world differently than the way she's going out. Can we put it that way? Here's another picture. This is the mayor and her wife. I can't take it. I can't take it. Somebody said, Big Mike, I can't take it. Okay, you see that? That's the mayor and her wife. I'm sorry that it's blurry. For whatever reason, it's not letting me capture it. Okay, wait. Wait, is that good? Okay, anyways. Okay.
Hey, Nunya, you on fire tonight, girl. You on fire tonight. Well, I don't know if you're male or female, but whoever you are, you on fire tonight. Get it, girl. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We love it. We love it.
So I'll say it again. You got a black female lesbian who's married to a white woman who could very easily be transgender. So you got the full package. So how is it possible that you've gotten everything and then some? Dave said, leave that man alone. You've gotten everything and then some that you've asked for. And I just read to you over 20 shooting incidents in 48 hours in a 2.5-mile radius, and not one cop shooting was involved. Dave always says your math ain't mathing. Ain't that what you say, Dave? Your math ain't mathing. It's not adding up. So you're telling me that the best response, after you've already gotten everything that you wanted, you've gotten what you asked for, you've gotten the president that you wanted, you've gotten the first Black, Asian, Indian vice president female that you wanted, you got a Black female lesbian married to a white woman who could be something else as a mayor. You've gotten Trump, who has won an enormous amount of millions and millions of lawsuits for you got millions of dollars. You got Chauvin has been they found him guilty on all accounts that you wanted. So I'm asking you, why is it that you still have problems? There shouldn't be any problems. There shouldn't be any problem. Why are there over 20 incidences? And like I said, this is not a police scanner. This is a phone. Why are there? So basically what you're telling me is, not only do you not know what you want, but you are a bunch of raging, raving, idiotic maniacs who will never be satisfied. That's what you're telling me. And it doesn't matter who gives you what. It'll never be enough. And you keep saying enough is enough, and enough is enough. But this amount of crime is the most idiotic. When I moved back here, I thought I was moving into a better neighborhood. And I was. And there was not too much crime going on literally about a year ago. This whole situation, because of what has happened within this past 365 days, with allowing a bunch of children, and listen to what I'm telling you. When I say children, I don't mean children in age. I mean children in levels of maturity. You have allowed a bunch of children a pass. You've given them a pass. You've made it so that African Americans, Black people, wherever you want to call them, are untouchable.
Stifled.
And when
Stifled.
you do that,
stifled. Not only are they untouchable, they are stifled. And they are too stupid to fucking see it. Do you not realize that by eliminating testing standards, that you are now graduating people who are unable to compete in the workforce, unable to hold a job, unable to do anything other than have babies, get high, and stay on welfare? Okay. Just having food stamps. I've never had welfare. I've never had Section 8, but I did have food stamps for a long time when I first had my child, like off and on for several years of her life. And even that stunted my growth as a human being. Because back then I had the same mindset that all these other fucking libs do. The government needs to take care of me. I work so hard. I can't make it. I'm a woman. It's too hard. And you know what? Eventually you pay it back, because there's a saying that says, if it doesn't come out in the wash, it's going to come out in the rinse. And you see in 5, 10, 15, 20, even not even one generation, it's going to come out in the rinse what our education system is doing to stunt people of color and to intentionally set them up for failure in life and nothing but more anger, more rage, more destruction, more gang activity, more violence, more gimme, 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 more rapes, more domestic violence, more child abuse, you know? But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And the same fucking thing is happening in Northern California. The same fucking thing. And then you look at these videos of all of these retail rings, and I don't even want to call them retail rings because I'm not even sure how organized they truly are. But I mean, just constant fucking merchandise theft. Constant. There doesn't need to be a reason. Nobody needs to die. Nobody needs to get shot by a cop. This is every day. And this was happening in San Francisco for years before they passed the law to give these people a free pass. Because if you have the audacity to call the police on a person of color prior to you actually see them committing the crime, you are now a racist and you are now endangering the lives of Black and brown people. That's the mindset here. And I'm just wondering, I'll get in. We're going to do another show about San Francisco, just about the theft that's going on. Okay. It's not traumatizing to talk about it, but I saw it so much. And I only lived in San Francisco for like 6 years, okay? I saw it so much. It enrages me that I bust my ass. I would never dream of stealing from a store. If I was starving, I would eat out of a dumpster before I ever took anybody else's property. It enrages me that I work, I bust my ass, I get taxes taken out. And if I have to buy my clothes on clearance, meanwhile, we've got 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds stealing thousands of dollars of property, jumping on the train, getting on the train, going back to Oakland, and laughing about it. It enrages me. And I don't want to be mad right now because I had a good day.
When you do that to anybody, you have now created the opposite of whatever this white privilege was that you were trying so desperately to make a point. You now have criminal privilege.
Mm-hmm.
You have criminal privilege. It has gotten so bad that the police are either afraid to pull you over or afraid to take any action because either they may get shot or they are afraid of doing something, reacting, and then getting sued or losing their job. Or you've created a group of police officers that are so angry and are looking to retaliate. I ran into one of those yesterday. I got pulled over by a police officer who was extremely irritated. And thanks be to God, I'll tell you, I'm not gonna tell you the story right now. I want to talk to my attorney first, et cetera, before I start blasting it all over the place. But thanks be to God that I have studied psychology for so long and that I know how to de-escalate a situation, because I could have very easily been shot. I mean, when I tell you very easily, I could have very easily been shot. But I did exactly what he asked me to do. When he asked me to get out of the car, I got out of the car, even though I told him he does not have permission, et cetera, et cetera. Blah, blah, blah. I got out of the car. I'm on the side of the road with my dogs, Bella and Badu.
as he calls 2 other police officers to come and do all kinds of shit. By the time everything was done, I'll just say this much. By the time everything was done, he apologized to me and said, I'm so sorry that I was being very aggressive and very rough with you, but there's a lot of drug trafficking and human trafficking and all this other stuff. He said, but you are a very nice lady. This is what he said. This is what the police officer. He said it in front of another police officer. He said, you're a very nice lady, and thank you for following all my instructions. I said, well, thanks. Oh, then he said, and you have very adorable dogs. That's what he said. I said, well, thank you. You know, I appreciate that. You are a state trooper, so I, you know, had to follow your instructions, and I left it at that. However, I was on speakerphone the entire time with my attorney. So we're going to deal with that. But he was, so that's why I'm saying you are now pushing something that is making everybody on edge. It's making everybody on edge. I was on edge because he was on edge. I was like, for what? Why are you pulling me over in the first place? And then after that, you know, it just went downhill after that. But I remained calm. But how many people are going to be able to remain calm? Not a lot. So when you make all of this stuff go on, you're not going to make every cop afraid of you. Some cops are going to say, you know, like I said, some cops are going to try to do the best that they can do. Do a live with Hunty Day of Summer. I don't know what that is. Some cops are going to, you know, do the best that they can. Some cops are not going to do anything at all because it's not worth it anymore. They'll lose their pension. They'll lose their life. They'll lose their, you know, their retirement, this and the other. And then some cops are going to be fucking pissed. Some cops are going to be pissed. And sometimes when you, just like, for example, the Sandra Bland situation, who could easily have been alive today. When I watched the video, the first time I watched that video, I said, oh God, no, she is putting gasoline on the flame. Whether he should have pulled you over, not pulled you over, this and the other, you cannot be talking about, fuck you, I ain't got to do. You can't do that. Because if you're having a bad day and he's having a bad day, if this is not going to end well. But how many people can...
All right, so I'm all blurry. Come on, y'all guys see my pretty face? Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to jump in, shit. If you mad, I'm mad too. So if you guys want to jump in, jump in. Jump in. So here is the link, guys. Ladies, you can do audio. You do not have to do video. Audio is fine. No video necessary. I'm not trying to dox my people. And my ragers are my people. Even though half of y'all piss me off. But I do love you. Oh, hello. Do you want to show your face? You're okay with that? Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Mandy. I just, I'm always looking to protect the identity of patriots if I need to.
Oh, yeah, I ducked myself 100 times. I actually live in College Station, not far from you.
Oh, where's that?
Do you know where you've heard of Texas A&M University?
In San Marcos?
They have them all over, but the central one is in College Station, Bryan. It's Central Texas.
Okay. I'm in Central Texas. Austin is Central Texas.
Yeah, I know. I'm like probably 90 minutes from Austin. Not far.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, I have a channel.
Sushi one of these nights.
Yeah, well, I've been I started a channel like a year ago to talk about a whole bunch of this shit because I know where it stems from, and it comes from the university level. Like these people that pass these policies, like they all have university degrees.
Oh, no shit. No shit.
So
Real quick before you start, Mandy, do you want your Instagram or your Twitter, or you want me to put up a website or anything for you?
oh no, I just really have my YouTube channel.
What is it called?
Good Mother. I can put a link in the chat.
Okay.
I actually shared the last stream that I saw you on. I shared
Oh,
it on my channel because I'm collecting all the badasses.
oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
And there's very few women on YouTube that are actually have the courage to speak the truth. So it's really screwed up. A lot of women give excuses for other women's shitty behavior when that's fundamentally what's screwing up our society. It's the women that are screwing it up. Irresponsibility, all the feminists that have been allowed to indoctrinate other women into man hating. And I mean, they've pathologized masculinity in the medical health professions. So they've overrun the universities.
I have no question of that. Maybe when I was maybe 20 or 22, I read a book called Wild at Heart. And it's a book that's written by a Christian pastor who specializes, I believe, in relationship counseling. And what he realized he had to do was he had to basically, in a weird way, he kind of was doing what the Proud Boys are doing, but obviously not going to rallies and, beating
Right.
up. But
Right.
his theory was that, like you said, anything that was considered masculine 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, has now been placed into disturbance level. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now it's like basic things like getting dirty or not having great hygiene or wanting to fight or wanting to compete, wanting to hunt, wanting to shoot, wanting to hunt and gather. Everything that makes men men has been reduced down to what is it? Either ADHD,
Right.
or
They've medicalized or pathologized it.
disruptive behavior.
Yeah,
And
oppositional defiance. Like, what are they opposing exactly? What's
Exactly.
the problem there? Yeah.
Right. So
No.
so basically it was a Christian book, but it was a book about masculinity and godly masculinity. And it really helped me understand at the time that men need space to be men. And it's really either the single moms who can't handle their son's behavior that are doing this to their kids, or it's the lesbian communist teachers who can't handle male basic biological male behavior. They can't handle it in the classrooms. And you're absolutely right, 100%.
But it's actually worse. It's kind of worse than a lot of people imagine, because it's been a kind of a psychological abuse that has been bestowed upon our society for many decades. So because women started overrunning the universities and because of affirmative action, like affirmative action was created, because of a race issue, but the feminists literally hijacked that. So for decades and decades, they have been systemically oppressing Black men and over elevating Black women. And the white feminists have been doing it because they're like, women over men.
Mm-hmm.
That's their thing. And it's like Black women check 2 boxes. So they get preferential treatment when it comes to jobs, scholarships, all the things. Like there's a disproportionate amount of educated women in the Black community because of this. But a lot of them end up taking like gender studies and all these different things that indoctrinate more feminism, which I mean, it's super cyclical. So it's literal domestic terrorism.
No doubt. No doubt. Damn.
Yeah. No, it's screwed up. And I'm about to lose my university to vaccine mandates, it looks like.
Are you a teacher?
No, but a lot of my clients are employed there.
Oh, okay.
So no, I've watched over the past decade, I've watched a lot of my clients just fucking go crazy. So first, I mean, it started really bad in 2016 when the left, because I've never been into politics. I've never liked anybody that I see in our government. Every time I look at these people talking, I can tell they're fucking lying. And I've never been into it. I'm like I've been able to look and be like, voting's pointless. I mean, judging by what I see in various communities and stuff, like probably the past 6 elections haven't even been real. So I'm like, what's the point? And working here, just seeing my clients, when Trump got into office, my left-leaning clients started declining and going fucking psycho. They were literally getting brainwashed into thinking he was Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
So then when they stole the election, my clients on the other side, they've been declining way faster. I mean, just this past 2 months, I've seen like 4 families I care a lot about, like, break apart because of all this bullshit. I mean, we're living under a mass psychosis that these competent women are fucking in control of, and they keep creating more mental illness everywhere by lying to everybody. So that's
True.
all they do.
That's true. And you know what? I think you're 100% right. I have noticed since the election, or whatever you want to call it, and especially since the insurrection, I have seen almost every political activist, conservative organization completely implode on itself. Nobody's getting along. Everybody's mad.
Yep.
I do these episodes called Red Pill TMZ, which I shouldn't really do because I hate gossip. But once in a while we need a little. We need a little Real Housewives of Maga. You know what I mean? Like we need a little bit of that because I don't watch entertainment like that anymore. I try not to watch any TV shows anymore. I just watch Korean shows, but that's it. But I've noticed that too, and it's like without the glue of Trump being president, what happens is everyone who was conservative, all their personality disorder is coming to the surface.
But
Whether it's anger, jealousy, greed, all that shit's coming to the surface. It's pissing me the fuck off.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, because there's so many, because everybody knows something's wrong, right? Fundamentally, everybody can feel it in their fucking gut that what we're living through right now is not normal.
Right.
So everybody has an idea of where the actual threat's coming from. And the men specifically, they are being kind of pushed around and by the women. The women are like, oh, there's the bad guy, because the men naturally want to, fight the bad guy because that's what they do. Well, but it's the incompetent women that are actually doing everything wrong behind the scenes, and they're simultaneously pointing at other men going, oh, go attack that guy. He's the problem, as they're stabbing him in the back. Like, it's really screwed up. Like all these group identities, all these groups, all our societies putting themselves in, like they're all wrong. They're all wrong. They all have feminists in them that are making them crazy. That's how screwed up it is.
I don't doubt you. I do not doubt you. Some of the people, or especially female patriots that I've let get close to me over this past year and a half, they are some of the most low down, dirty, fucking screwed up, fucking petty, drama, divisive ass women.
Yes.
These are all women that are, I thought that part of being conservative means that you accept responsibility. But you see, they're not going to, they believe in free speech. They believe in the Constitution, but that inner work has never been done for a lot of these women. And I'm seeing it.
Right.
I'm seeing it. One of the most patriotic, biggest supporters of my channel tried to drop me and my friend off a fucking edge of a boat when she was drunk. Okay. I got left in fucking Tennessee because this one bitch was fucking crazy that I was hanging out with. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all fucking crazy. Even
Any group identitarian is going to be fucking nuts because it takes it's called epistemological dichotomania. It's an actual it's a mental illness, really, but it's the binary mindset. It's the us versus them. It's the team mentality that a lot of these people are taking during a time of war, which is wrong because we're technically, I mean, our society's at war. So now,
hold on, honey. You got to write that. I'm going to write that down because that is a great concept. Can you spell that?
epistemological dichotomy. Actually, I'll give you a link for. Have you ever heard of Dr. Godsod? Oh, I'll send you a link for him. He's one of the few university professors that I've been following for a while. That he has a book called The Parasitic Mind.
Ooh.
How infectious ideas kill common sense.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's yeah, it's, and actually I've been building because I've been kind of going through the YouTube through all the different groups because there are some critical thinkers in these groups that are trying to like be with their group, but their group's going crazy. So they kind of have a reaction. So I've been kind of drawing in a lot of people to my channel that are not ideologically infected. So people that still use common sense, core principles, values, personal responsibility versus the victim mentality, because there's so many ideologies all working right now that none of the groups, you can't trust any of the groups. None of them.
Nope. So, nope.
But there are many people out there that you can trust that don't claim necessarily a group identity. And I've been collecting them for the past year on my channel. So I share people that I've kind of woken up to the concept because they then join the group of people that are working on the fundamental problem because it's feminism, man. And it comes from the universities, and these university professors need their asses fucking fired big time.
All of them. I've been wanting to do a show for over a year now, and I still haven't gotten to it, but I think you might be a great guest. So we'll talk. I'll give you my email. Okay. So I had this teacher. What was his fucking name? Can't remember his name. My very first teacher, my very first semester of college. It was a sociology class. Okay. And we got a troll in here. Yay. Keep it up. Bye. Or they can stay because they can just bump up my algorithm. Nazi. Please like my video, please.
How are you a Nazi? I'm just
well, I mean, we all get called Nazis. I don't care about that.
No. See, anyway, I run a tight gulag. That one would have been shot.
No.
Well, I host very long discussions where people from all over the world kind of join to discuss the things. So, like stuff like that. The people in the chat are actually contributing to the conversation because we're all trying to put all these pieces of the puzzle together. So that just gets in the way.
No, I mean, they don't have to read that shit. They're listening to us. Okay. My ragers are a little bit more, I hope they're a little smarter than that. So he or she is more than welcome to help my algorithm. I am totally fine with that. But anyway, what I was going to say is this teacher, he was the one who literally, I mean, this is a beginner's course, okay? So this is a GE course that everyone has to take like right within the first probably year of their schooling. It's a prerequisite for everything else, right?
Right.
This motherfucker literally was literally teaching us about Bob Avakian, okay? Literally. Bob Avakian has been the president of the Communist Party in this country for the last 30-something years, okay? He was literally teaching us about Bob Avakian the first fucking couple of weeks, okay? If not the first, like, class, okay? Yeah. Everything in his playbook was to aim us towards communism. And I got the receipts for that shit. Bob Massey, that was his fucking name. Bob Robert fucking Massey out of Santa Monica College in California. So when I was thinking about him last year, I actually Googled it. And I found out this motherfucker makes over 6 figures. He makes $117,000 a year.
Yeah.
And yet, as a female of color, he trained me to hate the white man. He trained me to hate men. And I've never made over 70 grand a year. How dare he?
Right.
How dare he make $117,000 a year as a professor? And he has put all of his students in a position where they are so dysfunctional that they can never even make the money that he has.
Right. Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm gonna do a story about him. I'll bring you on.
Yeah. Well, but the ideological infection has really overtaken the universities. So like Texas A&M was the last university to even let women into their university. So they are way behind the rest of society, kind of, because Texas A&M is mechanical and agricultural. So it's like STEM stuff and farm stuff, right? So women, it took women quite a while to kind of penetrate A&M and start, entering all their bullshit departments and creating departments for them. And, but what happens is women get in there and then women change the things. Like right now in our country, we have 60% admission rate to college is female. 40% male, but women graduate 2 to 1 male. So a lot of men are dropping out. So women are literally taking over the universities.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. And that also, I mean, I think, to some degree, when we talk about this infiltration, a lot of it is because they didn't have babies or because they're aborting their babies,
Right. I mean, their biological.
I had my baby and took her with me. I wasn't going to let a baby stop my life.
Right.
I just had my baby and I took her everywhere I went. I ain't give a fuck. I was like, nothing is going to stop me,
Right.
And the only things that did stop me was my own fears, my own insecurities, my own lack of self-discipline just as an adult, and never, I never saved money, never cared about my credit, never cared. I mean, I totally wanted to find a husband. I tried, but it's hard to do when you work 2 jobs and you have a kid, and and I was never the type of mother that would bring anyone around my kid. So it's like my options became completely fucking limited.
Yeah.
Completely. Not to mention, I was just a quiet borderline wreck from all of my trauma and all of the things and all of the bad tools and bad coping mechanisms that my fucking psycho ass parents gave me. So I've been a mess. I'm still a mess, but at least I have great therapists and they know I don't believe in no feminism bullshit. So, don't sugarcoat it. And obviously listening to a lot of the content that is out there for the MGTOWs and me as a woman trying really, really hard to understand what men are looking for, what pisses them off, how they need to be supported, how they need to be encouraged, what their roles are, what roles are we not letting them take, when I need to shut up, when I need to fall back. So maybe it'll turn around for me one day. I hope that it does. But I mean, I'm not going to stop until I'm in a place where I've had enough cognitive modification to be a new person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not even like I used to be. My personality's the same, but my belief system is completely different. And now I am completely disgusted by the way these females act. I can't stand it. I can't
Yeah.
stand my last roommate. She just got kicked out. She
I know. I saw that stream. She was a crazy bitch. Seriously, I mean that entitlement, that lack of respect for other people's stuff, that lack of respect for other people, that's ingrained. That's a narcissism that our society has trained these women into having.
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
And you said she was an alcoholic, so that doesn't make it any better.
No. No.
I mean,
No.
alcohol is like the highest. It causes the most problems. Like my whole family, I come from a family of alcoholics. I'm the only one in my family that doesn't have a DUI on my record.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to move away from my family up in Washington State. They're all a fucking mess. I mean, yeah, things, government assistance sucks in the Black communities, but in the white communities, it's even worse.
I have no doubt. I
Like,
have no doubt.
so much worse. Like, I grew up in a town that is supposed to be one of like the top most crime, like has the highest rate of like fucking murder because they have meth labs. I mean, because white trailer trash, like their thing, like they don't have gangs, but they have kind of, I guess, drug circles or whatever. And there's a lot of crime that revolves around that. But it's just government dependency. It removes people's motivation. It removes their necessity to do anything with their life. And then they have all this time and they're not working and they're like, well, my rent's paid. I got a cell phone. I got all this stuff. Like, what do? They drink, drug, and produce drama in their life. Like, I've been trying to get all these programs cut.
Well,
like,
you know what? Let's start our activism in Texas since we live so close.
I know.
Let's do something. I don't know. Let's go do something. Anything you want to do, let's go do it.
Well, I don't really know what.
Neither do I. Let's just go out there and fucking talk to people. Let's go to the state house. Let's go to the state house and just harass people. Like, let's do it.
See, I feel like A&M is the one that needs attention because they just put out Friday that they're going to start mandating vaccines for their employees because the government is putting so much pressure on A&M. Like, because I call them the smother mothers because it's literally the stupid women that have the displaced mommy energy that are creating all these policies. And they're the ones that care about people's safety over, economic stability and freedom.
Or their version of safety because these bitches have Munchausen syndrome anyway.
Right.
And then they're trying to abuse the rest of society with Munchausen by proxy.
Yeah. No, revolutionizing and recorrecting the psychology field is been kind of on my list of things that I'm working on also. So
Texas A&M, how many? Okay, College Station 77. Okay, so it's 97 miles from me, so an hour and a half. Okay. Brian Snook. I don't know any. I just moved here 6 months ago, girl, so I don't know any of these cities.
Really?
Be patient with me. Texas is a big state.
Oh, it is.
I know California like the back of my hand. Yeah. Okay, so you're a little bit east of me, actually.
Yeah. No, it's a nice drive. Because my son actually, I only really go to Austin for the airport because my son, he would fly out to go see his dad, so I would take him to the airport.
Cool. How like every 2 weeks?
Oh, no. Whenever he would have a break from school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's grown up now though, so.
Fuck yeah, let's do something crazy. Let's do something crazy at the college. Let's just go. I don't care. Like we can dress up in like hazmat suits with a big old plastic mask. I don't know, put on a fucking astronaut costume and or we could dress up like zombies. We could do that.
See, you're in Austin. Here is way chill. It's really conservative, kind of laid back. And it's kind of weird that the ideological infection is kind of gotten its roots in here. Because yeah, Ryzen said The Parasitic Mind is a fantastic read. Absolutely. Also, The Madness of Crowds by Douglas Murray. That's really good too.
What a crowd?
The Madness of Crowds.
Honey, I'm a magnet, honey.
Yeah.
I'm a magnet.
I have a list then. Actually, do you wanna see a video that somebody I'm working with?
Send me a link and I'll put it up.
He got actually I played this on my stream earlier. He's actually one of the people in my network that's kind of working on this. Let me see.
Put the link in the chat and then I can put it in the share. Give me the link first.
Well, you should play it and watch it because this is really, really good. Because he explains exactly what's going on. He long story shorts it. So it's a global freedom rally day 2 from this John Anderson's site. Hold on, let me. I have so many damn tabs.
Andy Anderson?
Yeah.
How far up do I need to fast forward?
Hold on, now I gotta find the damn thing.
Okay, take your time.
4 hours and like 32 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Done, boss.
Now I gotta find you. Hold on, I'm gonna close some of these tabs. Oh, I played shared a lot of stuff tonight.
In the armor, and when we flex, we're going to get a result, and we need to continue that. Stephen,
Can't hear it. Can you guys hear it?
Start of something big for you personally. The way I'm seeing people respond to your talks, your speeches, the way that you communicate, it is phenomenal. I'm blown away. So I want to say thank you. It's needed right now, and I cannot wait to see the impact that you go. You have to go and follow him on Instagram. He only joined Instagram a couple of weeks ago. And it is absolutely unacceptable that he does not have hundreds of thousands of followers. So head on over, share his content, spread the word. It's clearly so relevant right now. And that man needs a bigger platform. We're going to give it to him because, again, the message is on point. Guys, what an absolute crazy weekend we've had. I've had so much fun. I've really enjoyed being here with you this whole time. I have loved every second of it, and we have one more speaker. Before we do, don't forget, please remember to head on over to globalfreedomrally.com/action. All of our speakers, a lot of our speakers are going to be sharing gifts with you. And of course, if you want to further the education, find out more information from each speaker. Maybe it's more about politics. Maybe it's more about mental health. Maybe it's more about much more. My friends, this is the closing speaker of the Global Freedom Rally. I said that slower to make it even more impactful. And it is going to be an absolute ripper. I am really excited to share this man's message with you. Please, if you're watching this, share this far and wide. Get the link, get the Facebook link, get the YouTube link, get our live link, get it out to your friends and family. This is the closing speech of the Global Freedom Rally. It is none other than the Richard Brannon from the UK. He's an author, expert in psychology. He has helped thousands and thousands of people across the globe. But his conversation points online, offline,
real quick for the ladies, You definitely want to follow him on Instagram because, yeah. Okay. Okay. He's smart and he got that body, yada, yada, yada.
Intellectually, about politics, about the psychology of individuals, about fear, about what's going on right now, always captures me and engages me. And this is why I had to have the main man on the Global Freedom Rally. And to close this event, I want to welcome to the stage Richard Grannon. Welcome to the Global Freedom Rally.
Thank you very much for having me here, Andy. I really appreciate it.
Mate, it is my absolute pleasure. Again, no pressure being the final speaker. There's going to be fireworks and all sorts of things happening after this. But my man, I needed to get you on. You're brilliant. You have the stage. Share your message. I'm going to loop in after that.
Sure. There's a couple of things that I really wanted to say for this Freedom Rally. One of them is, if you're in the camp of people who doesn't see themselves as particularly politically engaged or as a social activist or anything like that, you've done your bit. There's goodwill that exists between a state, a government, and its people. And with goodwill, we accept that there will be mistakes. We accept that there will be lags. We accept that not every budget goes exactly where that budget is supposed to go to. We accept a certain level of incompetence. I think we've passed the boundary between reasonable acceptance of what we can expect a government and state bodies to do or not do into a territory that we should be saying is unreasonable. If we don't act now, then when? The response to this threat is disproportionate. Why is it disproportionate? There are multiple reasons that there could be for that. But what we can say is that the response to the threat is disproportionate. There is a threat. There is something there. How should we be responding to it? Are we doing it this way? Is the state demanding that we do it this way because they already bought their stock? They already have a stock of a product that they need to get out to the consumer in order to clear their stocks. The tone globally, not in all countries, but in many countries, Australia is a particularly strong example, but we see this as well in Austria, we're seeing it in Slovakia, and we're seeing it in the Czech Republic, is becoming more and more belligerent. Governments are becoming more and more surly, and the tone is shifting to just do as you're bloody well told. Well, hang on a second. A government that is in a modern Western liberal democracy cannot speak to its people that way. It cannot treat its people that way. You can't, in a modern Western liberal democracy, say, do as you're bloody told or else. Especially under these circumstances where we know the phase 4 trials have not been completed because there hasn't been time to complete them. We know that sometimes vaccines are withdrawn because they're dangerous. That's what happened with one of the swine flu vaccines back in 2013. It failed its phase 4 trials. It is perfectly reasonable for you as a tax-paying citizen of your country, your nation, to say, I do not want to be pressured into doing this thing right now. You're not guaranteeing my safety. You're telling me specifically and explicitly that I cannot sue you if anything goes wrong. How did we get here so rapidly? Let's talk about that for a moment. We got here so rapidly because of extraordinarily high levels of anxiety in the general population before this began. And number two.
Hey, Mandy, that's exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said. Yep, confirmed.
So we mandated, yeah.
To passivity. So this provides us with a solution for a way out. En masse, people and the government have responded in an extremely emotionally dysregulated way. When people are traumatized, when they're anxious, when they're not very mentally well, they misperceive threats. They become hypersensitive and they become hypochondriacs. This problem can actually manifest physically. There are observable changes in the brain when people are in this state. One of the things that happens is called the dysregulation of the HPA axis. The HPA axis is the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal glands operating in a coordinated, symbiotic feedback system to assess threat and then to decide what the appropriate level of action is towards that threat. When it is dysregulated, the threat is misunderstood. Let me be clear. If this was smallpox, if this was a virus with an extraordinarily high mortality rate, I would be saying we have to do the same things. I would be saying, look, if we don't take away your civil liberties, a significant amount of the population will disappear and this society could collapse. Under those circumstances, this would be correct. But we are not in those circumstances. This threat is not that great, even though they pretend it is. It is false. And I think at this point they know it is false. And as the months go by and the data rolls in, we're being told to follow the science. Let's follow the science then. It's been since almost day one. In March 2020, the UK government announced publicly that it was taking down the threat level of this particular virus from serious to moderate. Within a week, the World Health Organization, so this is not conspiracy theory, this is the UK government did this. They did it on March 19th, my birthday. On that day, on the gov.uk website, they said this is no longer to be considered a highly serious virus. The World Health Organization within a week made a public statement that said most people will only experience flu-like symptoms. This is not justified. This is rooted in mental illness. We are in the grip of a mass psychosis. And it's not, I don't think it's just top down. I don't think it's only a power grab. Elements of this are a power grab, but I think our politicians are sick. I think our state is sick. I think our capacity to accurately, sanely assess a threat and then respond in an adult way is critically damaged by hypersensitivity, hypochondria, emotional dysregulation, unnecessarily high levels of anxiety, absurd levels of anxiety. People are scared of their own shadows now. And an unwillingness to be active, proactive, and resilient in the face of threats. So what do we need? We need to calm the F down. We need to get outside, get back in nature. We need to remember who and what we are. We need to remember the thing that we are. We are incredibly tough as a species. We are amazingly adaptable. We have survived far worse threats than this without any of these measures. Not one of these measures put into place. Not one of them. Never a forced vaccination. We survived it all and we flourished. We're thriving. Our problems now at this point in culture is that we have too much food. People are dying more in the modern liberal democratic West, so-called, from obesity than they are from starvation and cancer-related illnesses from obesity. That is a pandemic, if you look at the numbers. This is bad. It's not good. Any coronavirus is serious. If you're immune system compromised, if you're morbidly obese, if you're the type of person who could die who would be likely to catch pneumonia and would die if they caught pneumonia, this is very serious. What was our option? To shield the vulnerable, to prioritize. The World Health Organization has just announced it 5 days ago. Ted Ross said you should not have a vaccine primal response. It is not science, it's not medicine to do that. You should prioritize the elderly. He specifically said it's disgraceful that in first world countries, we're prioritizing giving children the jab. This is Ted Ross, World Health Organization, 5 days ago, not making this up. He said it's a disgrace that we're prioritizing vaccinating our children, who we know from all the data and all the science that we're following are not under threat, and letting people in less developed countries who are vulnerable, who really need these vaccines, we're letting them die. That's an outrage. And yet you're being fed this narrative. Do as you're told, follow the science, we're being kind. We're being kind. We don't want Granny to die. When has your government ever given a single shit about Granny? Never. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It's a totally dysregulated response. They went from panic, incompetence, and they sank into a mass hysteria. This is a mass psychosis that we're in the grip of. The only way out, the only way to fight insanity is with sanity. We must be calm. We must be resolved. We have to get back to real health, developing our health so that we're strong. These people are offering cheeseburgers, fries, donuts, and even visits to prostitutes, not making that up, that's happening in Austria, in exchange for vaccinations. You tell me that they're concerned about health. Cheeseburgers and prostitutes. You couldn't make it up. This is the most insane episode of Black Mirror, and I cannot wait for it to end because I'm not enjoying living it.
I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. Listen, everybody, go hit globalfreedomrally.com. And here is the YouTube link. And fast forward to when you see this this gentleman speaking. Here we go. Here we go. So guys, go finish watching that video. Listen, I'm getting tired, Miss Mandy. It has been such a pleasure to talk to you. I'm so happy
to meet you. No, when I came across your channel, I'm like, I could tell within the first 5 minutes. I'm like, this chick's a badass. She's smart. Well, it's not a coward. And when you were walking around talking about, or I think you were at work maybe, and that one chick was like asking you dumb questions, and you're like, oh, she's stupid. I'm like, see, she knows what's up.
I try not to be so harsh, like I really do, but I also understand.
They need it though.
I know, but I also understand, like especially the way I grew up with very, very oppressive, very repressed, very repressed, like never spoke up for myself, total people pleaser, overachiever, people pleaser, you know, typical daughter of a narcissist mother, right?
Especially, you too. Yeah.
So, I mean, you get it.
Yeah.
But I know what it feels like to be on the other side of not setting boundaries, not speaking up for yourself. Just like, I mean, this is why it's so easy for me to do this in the movement. You know, this is why it's so easy, because I've never been the type who's not going to sit there and listen to what you're saying and critically analyze what you're saying to see if what you're saying makes sense. My mother is a master manipulator.
Yes.
My mother is a master fucking martyr narcissist.
Yeah.
And everything she said to me was a fucking lie.
Exactly.
So,
but you know what? You know what's so great about that? And you know what? I'm thankful for my bitch mother, because I cut her off when I was in my teens. Like cut her off, had to. They trained us to sort out what's happening now. Like we've had the proper training. We can spot these people a mile away. We know what they do. We know how hypocritical and lying they are. And we know really how cowardly ultimately they are.
Oh, yes.
And it's weird because the men are afraid of these women, because men cannot defend themselves against crazy women.
Nope.
So it's up to us. So like we need to take down this smother mother tyranny.
You know, and I've been saying it since the beginning. I said this pandemic, the COVID obsessed army that exists, it's all Karens. It's all Kens and Karen. It's all feminized men, and it's all borderline women who have nothing better to do than to terrorize complete strangers. And they don't care if they have to suffer, as long as you suffer too. That's why that's why they call us, you know, anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists and all this other shit. It's like, no, I've never had a vaccine, so I'm not going to start.
Right. And I don't get sick. Why do I? No, I had a client actually tell me, because my clients consist of so many different kinds of people in my community, from business owners to teachers, doctors, lawyers, stay-at-home moms, all kinds of, all kinds of people, right? I literally had a client, she's a retired university professor. She's complaining about not being able to vax her granddaughter yet. She literally stood in my salon room and said, like on one day where she was super freaked out and super frustrated, saying, because she was pissed at the non-vaccinated people, because apparently they're responsible for killing children right now. Like, she believed this shit. And we've had the vaccine conversation 4 times before that. And she literally was like, I hope they die. I'm like, well, that would suck, because then you lose a hairstylist, man. Like, I mean, but they're not thinking. They're so afraid and terrorized that they're terrorizing other people out of fear. They're so cowardly. I know. But they get away with it is the thing. I don't let them get away with it.
They get it.
That's your fucking problem.
They get away with it.
Problem on me. Yeah.
They get away with it because this pandemic has provided them the coverage to have that type of indignation.
Yeah.
And I've been saying, I work in the service industry. I'm a blue collar chef. Like, I don't really, I've done a little bit of retail, I've done graphic design, but other than that, like, this is who I am. I'm not ashamed of it. I
Yeah.
wish I could have been a lawyer. I wish I could have been a
Why?
doctor,
No,
but
you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you
no,
don't.
you're right. I
No,
don't.
you don't. No, that's what, when he goes on, he talks about a massive shadow activation when a bunch of external pressures put on somebody and they're squeezed, what's inside them will pop out. And we're seeing a lot of people's fucking
You're
terrible
cracking. Exactly.
demons. Yeah.
Real quick, I gotta say hi to my girl. So this is one of my Patriot girls. I met her well over a year ago.
Yeah.
Did we meet at that rally? I think you were there. I don't know. But listen, girl, happy to see you here tonight. Thanks for being here. She's another Texan, so make sure you go follow Mandy's channel, which is The Good Mother. Okay, so let me put that banner back up. I really got to get going, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you jumped in, and
Yeah, it was
I
good to
love
meet
talking
you.
about psychology on this channel.
Yeah,
I love it because it's the
that's
only way.
most of what I talk about, because that's where I've lived my life, because I didn't want to, my mom was nuts and she said it was genetic and I was going to end up being just like her. So I started hitting the library at like 13, like reading. Like, I'm like, no, there's no way. It's genetic, and it's not. It's environmental. It's totally environmental.
I wish I had considered therapy years ago, decades ago. I wish I could have been conscious enough to do that, but then there was always nothing's wrong. It's just your attitude. Nothing's wrong with you. Just pray about it. Just talk to Jesus about it, right? So there was that on top of the fact that I also had a lot of friends that were enabling. And I'm sorry to say this, and I hate to admit this, but when you grow up as a young woman in Los Angeles, you are exposed to sexuality way too young. And then the whole casual sex lifestyle is so normal. I didn't know how to have value as a woman. I didn't know how to fucking set boundaries. And then on top of that, I've already been groomed by my mother and father to be a mark for predators, to be a magnet for narcissists, to be a people pleaser, to have all these trauma responses. And sometimes I look back at my life, and as intelligent as I was and as many books as I read, and even all the years where I was kind of hanging out with the self-help motivational speakers in Vegas, it all helped. It all pointed me in the right direction. But it wasn't until I started getting therapy specifically for grief and complex PTSD.
Yep.
Those were the two things that I needed to get therapy for, because nothing else was working. Not the tarot cards, not the rituals, not the meditations, not the fasts, not the cleanses, not the retreats, not the workshops, not even the YouTube videos. Nothing will fucking help people get out of this crazy mindset until they address exactly what the fuck they need to address.
Here's a channel. This is another gentleman I work with, that I've been, Professor Sam Vaknin. He's working on the psychology field right now. He's kind of the leading guy. And he talks about that. His last couple interviews he had with Richard, he explains, and they're not allowed to say it because they're white men. And men aren't allowed to talk about feminists because they'll get canceled. I mean, us women, because we have boobs, apparently boobs is the magic key. Either you have natural boobs or you're a dude that gets boobs, and you can say whatever the fuck you want, whenever you want. But if you're a white man, you can get canceled. So if you listen to their last thing, you can translate that into feminist indoctrination, because they talk about how narcissistic abuse is pretty much mind rape. And the universities are literally brainwashing these people. They're narcissistically abusing them. So feminists, yeah.
Hey, good night, Risen, and good night to everybody. Shotgun, Nunya, good night. Truth with ES. Go back and watch this from the beginning, sweetheart. And we just made a new friend here in Texas, Miss Mandy. Good night, a frickin' American. And anybody else who's in here, thank you for joining. Please go follow Miss Mandy, the good mother on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you will be seeing me and her doing something together.
Oh yeah. Well, you should come to one of my streams sometime too. Yeah, we need to do something locally, I think.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, all I'm saying is that you got a partner in crime here, or should I say a partner in freedom. Okay, so if we're only an hour and a half from each other, I don't want anything from you. I'm not looking to exploit anything from you.
Yeah,
I've been exploited by my fans, so I am not going to do that to anyone else because I can't even. I'm not like the narcissist. I can't come up with these schemes in my head. But yeah, let's figure out. And you know what? God will put it on our hearts what we're supposed to do.
Oh no, we're supposed to be Jesus.
We'll figure
that out. Yeah, no.
Whatever. If we got to move mountains, faith of the mustard seed, let's go. Because
I need these recovering feminists to start working on what they fucked up, because I have a whole nest of them that I know of that are hiding out in the church right now.
Let's go get whatever you want.
I know, right? Yeah.
I am all about guerrilla style warfare, and I am all about waking people up. And that's why I said, like, I don't care if I need to go in an astronaut costume, go dressed up like a zombie. If that's what the fuck I need to do to get somebody's attention, I'm going to do that. I don't care.
We might need to organize a rally here to protest the university, because they literally just put out that they're, because of all the government pressure and because they're at risk of losing $2 billion in government contracts. Yeah, actually, MGTOW, I support MGTOW. I have a lot of supporters that are MGTOW, and MGTOW guys come on my channel all the time and talk. My channel's been kind of a safe space for men to actually have free speech. So we've been organizing and talking about these things, and so it's very friendly to men. It's not friendly if you're a crazy bitch, though. I have a zero tolerance for crazy bitchery in the chat, so they get they're just not allowed at all.
I love it because I'm not
excited to meet you.
It was great to meet you too. So I got your information. I will probably send you a text message in the morning. I don't have to be at work till 2, so I'm usually up at 6, 7 in the morning. But I'll give you a call or a text around 10 or 11.
Okay. Yeah, text. I never answer my phone, so.
Well, then I will text you.
Yeah, just text me. It was good to meet you.
All right. Good night.
Good night.